Most people get Libra wrong in the first 5 seconds. They hear Libra and think soft, charming, romantic, peaceful, maybe even indecisive. They imagine someone who wants harmony so badly that they will do anything to avoid conflict. But that is only the polished surface. Underneath, it is one of the most intense tensions in astrology. Because Libra may be ruled by Venus, but it is deeply tied to Mars. And once you understand that, Libra stops looking merely sweet. It starts looking powerful in a way most people never see coming. In astrology, Libra sits directly opposite Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, the planet of action, desire, anger, instinct, pursuit, and force. Aries says, "I want, so I move." It does not wait for permission. Libra stands on the other side of that axis. Libra is the sign of relationship, balance, reflection, and awareness. Libra says, "What happens between us if I make this move?" So even though Libra belongs to Venus, it is always in conversation with Mars. Libra cannot escape Mars. It has to learn how to live with it. Mars wants movement. Libra wants fairness. Mars wants honesty now. Libra wants the right tone, the right timing, the right outcome. Mars pushes. Libra weighs. Mars burns. Libra measures. And that is why Libra can seem calm on the outside while carrying enormous tension on the inside. This sign is constantly trying to reconcile two different needs, the need to keep peace and the need to tell the truth. Because Libra is not passive. It is a cardinal sign. It initiates. It starts things. It moves energy. It just does not move like Aries. Aries kicks the door open. Libra walks in, reads every face, senses every motive, and changes the outcome without raising its voice. And when Mars energy moves through Libra, it does not disappear. It becomes strategic. It becomes elegant. It becomes social intelligence sharpened into action. A Libra influenced by healthy Mars energy can be magnetic. They know how to speak with force without sounding reckless. They know how to defend themselves without losing dignity. They know exactly when to push, when to pull back, and when one sentence can shift an entire room. That is why people underestimate Libra. Because calm is not weakness. Charm is not passivity. And hesitation is not always the absence of power. Many times, Libra hesitates because it sees too much. It sees both sides, both motives, both wounds, both consequences. While someone else is charging ahead on instinct, Libra is already tracking the emotional cost of what happens next. Mars wants direct expression. Libra wants harmony. So when Libra gets hurt, frustrated, or angry, it does not always release that energy cleanly. It may delay. It may soften the truth. It may smile through resentment. It may stay agreeable long after the balance is gone. And this is where Libra begins to lose power, not because it lacks strength, but because it uses too much of that strength holding itself back. This is why Libra can shock people. A Libra may stay patient far longer than expected. They may give chances, explain things away, and try to restore the peace again and again. But when the line is finally crossed, the reaction can be cold, sharp, and unforgettable. Not because Libra is dramatic, but because the anger is rarely about one moment. It is about every moment they swallowed to avoid conflict. Every time they chose grace over honesty. Every time they protected the relationship more than they protected themselves. And that is one of Libra's deepest lessons with Mars. Peace that costs your self-respect is not peace. Libra wants partnership more than most signs. It wants mutuality and the feeling that both people are choosing each other with equal care. But the shadow side of that desire is dangerous. Libra can start measuring safety by how smooth things look instead of how true they feel. It can start confusing being loved with being agreeable. It can start avoiding tension so completely that it loses touch with its own desire. Mars does not let that happen forever. This is why Libra is often drawn to strong Mars energy in other people. Confidence, decisiveness, boldness, passion, directness. The kind of person who knows what they want and is not afraid to show it. Libra is fascinated by that because it activates something buried inside. It reflects the part of Libra that wants to stop apologizing for having needs. The part that knows desire is not selfish. The part that knows boundaries are not cruelty. The part that knows truth sometimes creates tension before it creates peace. And this is where Libra's story gets more intense. The more Libra matures, the less it tries to look peaceful at all costs. Instead, it starts asking a harder question. What kind of peace is actually real? The peace built on silence? The peace built on self-erasure? The peace built on pretending everything is fine while resentment quietly grows? Or the peace that comes after honesty, after boundaries, after the truth has finally been spoken? Only one of those lasts. When Libra is unevolved, Mars can feel awkward in this sign. Action becomes delayed. Anger becomes passive-aggressive. Desire becomes over-filtered. Decisions stretch out too long. The person says yes when they mean no, stays too long where things are unequal, and keeps trying to fix dynamics that were never fair to begin with. On the outside, this can look graceful. On the inside, it feels like a slow leak of power. Then comes the turning point. Libra begins to realize that fairness is not self-sacrifice. Kindness is not compliance. Love is not losing your voice. And once that truth lands, Mars starts working differently. Libra becomes clearer, stronger, less apologetic about boundaries, less willing to negotiate with obvious disrespect, less afraid of disappointing people who only liked the agreeable version. That is when Libra becomes truly formidable. Not because Libra becomes harsh, but because Libra becomes honest. A clear Libra is one of the most compelling forces in astrology. The charm is still there, but now it has backbone. The grace is still there, but now it has direction. The desire for peace is still there, but now Libra knows that peace without truth is only performance. Instead of trying to be liked by everyone, Libra starts respecting itself enough to be misunderstood by the wrong people. That changes everything. In love, this lesson matters even more. Libra is romantic, yes, but romance alone is never enough. The connection to Mars means Libra also wants chemistry, movement, pursuit, and desire. Libra wants to feel chosen, wanted, met. That is why this sign can be drawn to intense partners and strong personalities. But that attraction comes with a test. If the other person is all Mars and no balance, Libra gets overwhelmed. If Libra becomes all balance and no Mars, Libra disappears. The real goal is not domination. It is a relationship where desire and respect can live in the same space. When Libra finds that, something beautiful happens. The softness becomes real because it is no longer forced. The peace becomes real because it is no longer built on fear. The love becomes real because Libra is no longer performing harmony while silently abandoning the self. Now Mars finally serves its real purpose, protecting what matters. This is also why Libra can be fierce when injustice becomes undeniable. People often think Libra is too nice to fight until they watch what happens when something crosses the line. The voice gets steadier. The logic gets cleaner. The patience runs out. And suddenly the same person who seems so easygoing becomes impossible to move. Not chaotic, not reckless, precise. That precision is Libra's version of Mars. It is not wildfire. It is controlled fire. Anyone can explode. Not everyone can stay composed while telling the truth with accuracy. Not everyone can confront disorder without losing dignity. Libra can. That is the strength people miss. Libra does not always look powerful in obvious ways, but power is there all the same. Some of Libra's greatest power comes from what it refuses to become. It refuses to let anger become ugliness. It refuses to let desire become domination. It refuses to let conflict destroy beauty if beauty can still be saved. That is not weakness. That is restraint guided by intelligence. And maybe that is the deepest connection between Libra and Mars. Mars gives Libra the courage to act. Libra teaches Mars how to act with awareness. Mars gives Libra desire. Libra teaches Mars elegance. Mars gives Libra the instinct to defend. Libra teaches Mars that not every victory is worth the damage it leaves behind. Together, they create something rare, conscious power. That is what Libra is really here to master. Not just how to be loved, not just how to be admired, not just how to keep everything smooth on the surface, but how to remain kind without becoming powerless. How to remain graceful without becoming silent. How to love deeply without abandoning the self. That is why Libra is far stronger than people think. Beneath the beauty, there is steel. Beneath the diplomacy, there is instinct. Beneath the smile, there is a will that has learned the hard way how much silence can cost. Libra's bond with Mars is not about becoming less loving. It is about becoming brave enough to let love include truth, desire, anger, boundaries, and self-respect. So if you have ever wondered why Libra can seem sweet one moment and unshakable the next. This is why. Libra is not made of softness alone. It stands at the meeting point between Venus and Mars, between tenderness and fire, between connection and selfhood, between peace and the courage to protect it. And that is not fragile. That is powerful. If this spoke to you, if you saw yourself or someone you love in this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want more astrology that goes beyond stereotypes and reveals the deeper force hidden inside each sign, stay with me for the next one.
Thanks again for watching the video. I surely appreciate your support. If you enjoy it, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I really help a lot and motivate me to keep making more videos for you. See you in your next one. Bye.